I didn't even know them.
How many?
There was a few of them. I reloaded.
Killed every last one of them.
Yeah. And that wasn't even one I wanted to do.
Do you think that what they did was a capital offense?
What they did? You mean playing with me?
Yeah.
Well, they could have killed me. What if they ran me off the road and I died?
Bad behavior, no argument. Reckless endangerment. Reckless driving. Host of bad things. Is it a capital offense they committed against you?
Apparently. I did kill him. So to me, it must have been. Because when I had come to that point, and that point, that is the last point they come to. I don't back off once I go forward. Once I go forward and I take a gun, I do not back off. I didn't know how many they had. I didn't know what they had. They could have had guns. They could have had anything. They wanted to play with me. I didn't want to play. So, we didn't play no more. And I would have taken whatever came. You almost made me mad.
I know. What made you mad about that?
I don't know, but you almost did.
Can you figure out what it is?
No.
Try to look at it. Look at what made you mad there.
I don't know. I think it must have been something you said.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I don't know what it was.
Could it be that I was challenging you and it sounded judgmental?
Could be. Yeah, it could be. Because you've got me annoyed with you now.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
How mad are you?
Not bad. Pretty. I feel a little flushed. So that means that I've reached a point in my life that I'm a little annoyed.
What would you like to do?
Doesn't matter. I don't think it's gone to the point that I'm actually gonna do anything stupid. Just curious to myself why it happened. I don't know why it happened. I'm actually almost glad it did happen because you had a chance to see something, but I don't know why it happened.
Did you feel I was criticizing you?
Yes.
Is that what did it?
I think so. I think that's the part that did it.
Who used to criticize you the most?
Of course, my father.
Yeah.
Kuklinski's efficient, remorseless killings came to the attention of the Mafia, and in his 20s, he graduated from the random, impulsive murders of his youth to a new career as a contract killer. He recalls his first murder for hire.
He gave me a picture of him and a description of what he does and what he generally does and where he goes, places he goes. And so I went to the area where they said he might be, and I saw somebody who looked like him, similar to him. He had a knack for smoking, and they told me he smoked big cigars, Churchill cigars or something. So I pulled up alongside of him. At the time I was riding a motorcycle. And I just said, Cuban? Are they Cuban? Looks like a good cigar. And he wasn't a happy camper, because he said, fuck you. And when he said, fuck you, he looked my way, and I got a clear shot of his face. It was a picture I had of the man they wanted, and I said, nah, don't fuck me, fuck you. And I just took this weapon out and blew his head off. just disintegrated. Like you see a pumpkin get hit with a shotgun or something, they just spread out. And that's what happened. And light turned green about the time I shot him, and I left.
Does it give you any response in your guts to see a man's head explode?
It surprised me a lot. A response in my gut. What kind of response do we want? I don't know. I don't have any response.
Most people, when they see horrible things, if they see somebody badly injured, certainly see something that awful, have a visceral reaction. They feel nauseated. They may want to vomit. It makes them very uncomfortable all over real fast. Did you get anything?
No, it's a good thing I didn't have to vomit, because then I would have had real problems on that motorcycle. But I didn't have that problem. I didn't have any sickness, dizziness, or upset stomach or anything like that.
It helped you adapt and cope not to care.
Definitely. Not to care is much better.
Because it's a weakness to care.
That's right, it is. Then you have baggage. When you care, you can't just move. You have to worry.
And you got something to lose.
That's right.
By the late 60s, the Iceman had become one of the mob's most prolific contract killers. Some of his most brutal murders took place at the Gemini Lounge in Brooklyn, a favorite haunt of mafia men.
Dismembering bodies, did that turn your stomach?
I don't think so. I remember having pizza one day while we were doing something like that.
Pizza in one hand, chainsaw in the other?
No, I didn't like chainsaws. That's another fable that they've come up with, that I use chainsaws. See, chainsaws are messy.
Yep.
All you get is all over me I have these little pieces of meat. Now that's a pain in the neck if I use chainsaws. Now would I want to ruin a good shirt with a chainsaw? That would be downright stupid. And I definitely have the wrong. I don't think I could walk around with bits of meat hanging off me or bits and pieces of somebody's body hanging off me. I would probably smell a little bit bad also at that point.
So what's a better way to dismember
Just
a
a
body?
knife. A butcher knife, you know, you cut it around the bone and a little slice here, a little slice there, and wrap it, ship it.
Do you understand that most people can't imagine doing that to a human?
Sure. I can understand that a great deal. I can't understand why I can.
Did you have to cultivate that ability, or is that natural for you?
I don't know. I don't recall. I did it. I don't recall when I started doing it or why, or the feeling I had when I did it. I don't know.
Jeffrey Dahmer told me that when he cut bodies apart,
Yeah.
it repelled him. He found it horrible. He had to get himself drunk to overcome that
Stink.
natural revulsion.
Yeah.
It's because it's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
But to you could just do it, no feeling.
No. The smell sometimes was annoying, but I would put cologne on. I would generally put cologne across here, so I could smell the cologne a lot better than I could smell anything else.
Shooting, stabbing, strangulation, even poisoning, all part of Richard Kuklinski's murderous repertoire. He sometimes froze his victims' bodies to disguise their time of death, earning him the name of Iceman. In his sessions with psychiatrist Dr. Dietz, he revealed that some of his clients wanted his victims to suffer before they died. Of course, Kuklinski obliged, creating the kind of death nightmares are made of, often capturing the torture on film.
I used to have a thing where I would take somebody into a cavern or cave, whatever you want to call it, and I would tie them up or tape them, their hands and their feet together, and then I would leave them there, and I'd leave a camera on. And rats used to eat them. Rats used to kill these people. It was a very painful death for these people because rats would eventually smell them or come near them and start nibbling away at them. The people would definitely scream and yell and holler and try to get away. And eventually more rats would come and they would consume these people eventually, you know. But there was a lot of screaming and yelling in between. But when I did that and I watched it on, the devil was that, Super 8 I think it was, I found it distasteful and it used to make me nervous for some reason. I said that was some type of a feeling which I wasn't too keen on having. But I did it because it gave me a feeling of some kind, and therefore I was trying to find out what it was that was giving me some type of feeling. Whether it was the horror of what was going on, or the screaming that was happening, or just the nastiness of it. But I never figured it out. But I did that quite a few times, too. Maybe too many times.
And watched it?
Yes. I beat a guy to death one time. I had blood in my shoes. His blood in my shoes. It just goes on that way. Had to throw all my clothes away. There I was driving a big Lincoln Town car with butt naked. Had a sheet wrapped around me. We're having too much fun, you know that? You realize that? I'm coming across like a nice guy. Nobody's gonna believe this. Nobody. I wouldn't believe this if I was watching this. Because I'm the furthest thing from a nice guy. I am what you call a person's nightmare. Because of the way I project myself, people think they can get by. And then all of a sudden, when they wake up, it's too late. They already hit the stop sign. And that's a dead stop.
But there have been people you've been good to, aren't there?
Not many. There have been people. I don't know what you consider good. Your interpretation of good might be different than mine. I don't know. What do you mean good?
Well, how do you think you were with your kids?
Oh, the kids. Now you're talking completely different. Now you're talking black and white. There was nothing I wouldn't do for my children. Nothing.